I recently received a call from a lady who basically said that I got your number and I heard that you could solve my grief. And I said, well, I'm glad you called, but let's get this straight. No one can solve your grief. It's a journey you have to go on, but I'll listen to you. Go ahead and share with me what you're dealing with. And she says, well, I'm in my late 40s. I just lost a childhood friend I had known since I was 16, and I'm having a difficult time dealing with this grief. Can you help me? I said, well, I'll listen. Go ahead and share some more things about you with me. As a end of life doula and continuum of care specialist, I'm really starting to get used to getting these calls, and I honor them, and I honor the people that do call for trusting me enough to share intimate details about what they're dealing with. But she told me that she was having problems even from some past trauma. And an hour and a half later, and she's still talking, telling me about when she was molested as a child by her stepfather and tried to tell her mother, who didn't believe her. And so she could not forgive him for that, and he's still alive. She said she'd gotten some advice from therapists and counselors to say, you have to forgive, you just have to forgive and let go. I felt the need to come at her from the opposite approach, just to get her attention. And I said, well, I know you've heard forgiveness is something you have to do. What about if I tell you, just don't forgive? If you don't want to, just don't forgive that person. It kind of shocked her that I would say that. But I said, if you don't forgive, these are some issues you're going to deal with. You're going to deal with some family difficulty issues, your close family, because you're harboring that pain and it'll chase you until you confront it. And so I asked her, how was your relationship with your mother? She says, well, I don't get along with her. I haven't talked to her in years. And I said, how about children? Do you have any children? Yes, I have a daughter. How's your relationship with your daughter? Well, I haven't talked to her in years. It's probably been 10 years. And I said, that's my point. You're passing on that pain because you're not confronting it. And if you want to live the rest of your life having relationships that are distant, like you just described, then don't forgive. But if you want to go on that journey of self-discovery, I'm not saying that you will ever forget what you've been through. That's not the goal. But if you don't forgive, you're going to pass on this trauma to others around you, and you're never going to get the best out of what could have been a much better life if you just learn to let go. Because if he dies, now he's going to have power from you over in the grave, even after death, because you're still harboring that. I said, it's not about him. It's about you getting past this. And you can forgive him from afar. You don't even have to go to him and say, please apologize to me, because that was one of her requirements, that he apologize and she forgive. I said, well, if he never apologized, because in his mind, he don't think he did anything wrong. Well, even if he does not apologize, you're giving him power over you if you say, me moving on in life is conditioned on him offering me an apology so I can forgive. You can't connect the two. You have to separate the two. And if you choose not to, you don't have to, but these are the problems you're going to deal with your family and loved ones. I don't know if this helps someone, but I wanted to share that story with you, that grief is such a complicated journey, that even though she thought it was the friend that she'd had since she was 16 years old, it seems like there was a lot of past trauma that she just never felt like dealing with or confronting. And I basically just told her, you have to go on that journey on your own if you decide to. But if you don't, hey, that's your decision too. Hey, this has been your end of life doula, continuum of care specialist, and I hope to talk to you soon. Take care. It is really acting up today.